Don't forget to check out the Bias Premier League show with Yardi, Ty and myself, where we're going to be discussing the unbelievable comeback by Arsenal with Reece Nelson. And we're going to talk a little bit about Manchester United.
Oh God, McLaren!
He's gone.
He's been in the pit 40 seconds!
Whoa.
Front wing! Careful with the front wing! God! Matisse, it's happening, mate. I'm putting on my lucky new Ferrari hat. Oh no!
Oh, science!
It's Leclerc! It's Leclerc!
Drama!
Take that out. Leclerc.
Hi everyone and welcome to another edition of Arsenal AFTV. Oh, we're getting some, apologies, we're getting some feedback here. How are we doing? We're still getting some feedback. We've got Brennan here working fast and furiously in the background trying to sort it out.
Oh God, McLaren!
He's gone.
He's been in the pit 40 seconds!
Whoa.
Front wing! Careful with the front wing! God! Matisse, it's happening, mate. I'm putting on my lucky new Ferrari hat. Oh no!
Oh, science!
Leclerc! It's Leclerc!
Drama!
Take that out. Leclerc.
Hi everyone and welcome to another edition of the Arsenal AFTV FANZONE in conjunction with the Talk is Cheap show. Apologies for that. Well, what can I say? What happened there? I don't know. But listen, it's a good day in London and I'm joined here to my left by my good friend, my co-host, show analyst, former professional footballer, social media influencer and icon. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please put your hands together and give a big digital round of applause to Mr. Curtis Shaw of Curtis Shaw TV in the house. What are you saying, bro?
Something, bro.
I'm good, man. How are you?
Big 7 days ahead. I don't know why, but
I see that smile on your face, man.
that number, man.
That mischievous smile you got on your face.
CR7, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that mischievous smile on my face, on your face. That tells me that all is good in the world of Curtis Shaw.
It's good, man. It's
Looks
good.
like you had a very good weekend.
Hey, listen, that as a football weekend, probably Man City dropping points would have made it perfection. Apart from that, pretty much everything else.
Although I've got a particular view on that. Actually, I'll run it by you. Let me know what you think.
Run it.
I'm one of those, right? I think that we're going to win the title. Oof. And I think
saying
that
it with chest.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I've been saying it with chest for the last couple of weeks now. But in terms of what Man City do, I tend not to focus too much on what they do. And I actually think that sometimes if you over-focus on what they do, it can actually take your eye off that focus a little bit. And I'll give you a case in point. So you remember it worked in reverse. A couple of weeks ago when we slipped up, didn't we?
Everton.
At Everton. What did City do?
Yeah, they drew, didn't they? With Forest.
So sometimes you just got to focus on your own team, man.
I got to be honest, I'm focusing on theirs as well. You know what I mean?
I mean, it would be better, but I just think sometimes if you start to focus too much on what they're doing,
feel disappointed when they win.
You just got to concentrate on your own.
But I can't lie, this week, 5:30 kickoff at Selhurst Park, Palace against Man City, Vieira, Lokonga, Wilfred Zaha, boyhood Arsenal fan. Yeah, I'm looking for a favour, I can't lie. And you know Pep don't like travelling to London. He was speaking about it's too far on the coach and all that. So
and you know what? Palace always give them a good game as well. Always, even at City, Palace give them a good game. This one's at
Palace as well.
You could be onto something there.
It,
okay, news and notes quickly. We should first start by congratulating the Arsenal women.
Yeah,
had a very good win at the weekend. They won the WSL Cup, which I'm reliably informed is like the League Cup of the women's game. They beat Chelsea 3-1, which is a good result because I know that Chelsea have got a very good women's team. I didn't see the game, I saw the goals. So congratulations are in order.
Trophies, man, that's what we do. You know what I mean? Tottenham would love
beer
that trophy.
Trophies.
Beer trophies, man, cabinet full of.
Congratulations to the women, man. Shout out to them for that. Right, obviously it was another dramatic weekend of Premier League action, and there was two games that stood out, one of which we're obviously going to talk about
Yeah.
a bit later. But there was another game at the weekend, not involving Arsenal,
Yeah.
that a lot of people are talking about. So, Curtis, I might as well get your thoughts on it. Liverpool 7, Manchester United 0. What are you saying, bro?
You know what? I remember 50 Cent's second album was called The Massacre. If you needed to see a video to represent it, that was the video. I mean, that game, it just came out of nowhere, though, if we're being honest. I mean, I predicted 2-1 to Liverpool. I thought they'd get a tight win. But that second half, man, I mean, that was just crazy. I think what was so bad about that, for Man United fans, was some of their players gave up. You know, we've seen Bruno walking around, Anthony walking around. I think in such a big game, huge rivalry.
I think it's fair to say they were at 6s and 7s. Mainly 7s.
Mainly 7. It's going to be one of them weeks, you know, he flexing them, man. You need to turn your phone off. But boy, yeah, man, Cristiano Ronaldo, CR7. And, but yeah, it was, what a game. Liverpool ran all over them second half. I honestly think it could have been 8 or 9 in the end. Every time they went forward, I was like, someone's scoring.
Although, to be fair to United, and I'm going to have to say this, the first half I thought was pretty competitive. In fact, arguably, United were the better side in that first half.
Yeah, Bruno missed a header. Rashford had a good chance.
Yeah.
But in them big games, you got to take your chances.
Take your chances, mate.
It's interesting because, you know, Núñez, Gakpo, been a little bit underwhelming, but then I feel like they really came to life in this game. And Salah obviously broke the record. It was, for them, it was a great game. You know, at the start of my stream, I did the FIFA. I said today I feel scouse. You know, we was supporting Liverpool then.
And I know your dad; he's a big Liverpool.
He's a
fan,
big Liverpool fan, yeah. So
he was
pleased with that. But yeah, I think every Arsenal fan wanted Liverpool to win as well. I got to be honest, from a footballing point of view, it was nice to see Man United get humbled a little bit. They'd been talking about quads and Rashford's a world beater, and so yeah, just, you know, relax yourself a little.
Humbling defeat.
Humbling defeat, yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's got the whole world talking, and that was what was unfolding in front of me yesterday. I found it kind of hard to take it in, really, because I just couldn't believe what I was watching.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It was a shock, but it was a pleasant.
It was a real shock. No mercy.
No mercy, man. No mercy.
Okay, then. So that was that. So let's move on to things nearer to home. Arsenal's last game at the weekend. Arsenal at home to Bournemouth at the Emirates. We all thinking, yeah, man. You know what I mean?
Smoke.
This is going to be rudimentary, routine 2-3-0 win. There's a lot of people predicting 3s and 4s.
5, bro.
5,
yeah,
wow.
I said 5-0.
Yeah, man. I mean,
got that horribly wrong.
I predicted by 2 clear goals. I didn't speak to a single fan before, Arsenal fan, before that game, that wasn't predicting at least a 2 clear goal win. And we've, you know, let's face it, we had a right to be confident, although not overconfident.
Yeah.
But, you know, we've had a couple of good results going into this game. And Bournemouth, second bottom of the table.
Yeah.
You're thinking, so then, of course, the game kicks off, and within 10 seconds, Arsenal are a goal down.
I mean, the interesting thing about that is you just, I think it's the second fastest goal on it in Premier League history.
Yeah. No, I think it was timed at 9.11 seconds.
Quicker than Usain Bolt's world record run, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, again, I said the same thing last week. I don't like to blame refs and officials, but a number of decisions in that game were questionable. And then I seen this picture that 2 Brentford players, Bournemouth players, had encroached into our half.
You are right. Yeah.
Now, I don't like to cherry pick at things like that, but those kind of decisions can cost you a title at the end of the day, because that goal shouldn't stand if we're looking at the rules of the law.
Certainly VAR should have picked that up.
You should be looking at that. Yeah. You know, the referee after the game in the Sky studios, like, the goal shouldn't have counted. You think, well, there's 4 refs doing VAR and none of them have seen it. And then today, I mean, just going back to that Man United game, Bruno Fernandes pushes the linesman. Literally put both hands on him and give him a little push. No action taken. for me, that should be a free match ban. You can't push a linesman.
Yeah.
If Granit Xhaka pushed the linesman, he'd be doing 10 years. They'd send him down for that. But so listen, listen. If we're gonna win it, we're gonna have to win it the hard way. That's for sure. Because we're not getting any decisions at the moment.
I mean, I was doing the watch along with the guys in the studio on Saturday, and when that goal went in, I was like, "Wow, what's going on?"
Couldn't believe
it was one of them where I almost said, "Yeah, you could start again now. You went off too quick."
Yeah.
You know. But to be fair to Bournemouth, and I said it at the watch along, a couple of the guys would disagree with me. They were sort of transfixed with, you know what I mean, like the sloppiness of the defenders, which was, you know, we got caught off guard, let's be honest. But you have to give credit to Bournemouth because that was a training ground move.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A couple of people said, no, it's just that we weren't at it. But if you look at it again,
they worked it well, didn't they?
They did work it well. And it kind of reminded me, I don't know if you ever watch much rugby, but
Not
it's kind
much,
of
a little bit
a play on some of the rugby kickoffs
Yeah.
when the fly half will switch halves and you think he's going one way and then they go
the
another. So yeah, you got to give credit to Bournemouth.
Definitely give credit. I think defensively we were a bit sloppy though. I think it should have been. It shouldn't have even got to the player.
Well, Gabriel miskicked, didn't he?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
miskicked it.
So okay. So you got to go down. But I was saying to the guys, I said, listen, if you're going to concede,
do it after 9 seconds.
do it after 9 seconds because basically you can just start again. You got the whole game
to come back
to try and come back, and you would have backed Arsenal to come back. Didn't
Yeah.
you? But then lo and behold, we don't get straight back into it, and then we concede another goal in the second half. A header
Terrible
again.
goal to concede.
It was.
Partey's fault. Lost the run.
Yeah, completely lost the
Lost
runner.
him. It wasn't no amazing movement. They're just a simple run to the near post. Lost him 2-0. At this point, I had complete and utter head loss. I'm like, nah, title's gone. But yeah,
as bad as that?
yeah, my head was gone. Wow. I'm like, bruv, this is Bournemouth. They got the worst defense in the Premier League this year. Most goals conceded. City beat them comfortably. I'm like, and the way we was playing, even though we were dominant, I don't feel like we were creating big chances.
No.
Bournemouth had a lot of players behind the ball.
And they did look threatening on the break.
And they did. I mean, Ramsdale, that save at 1-0, I mean, that's an unbelievable save from him.
Yeah.
And like you said, they were quick on the break. I was thinking, you know, they're still probably going to get a chance. But obviously, I think we just like to add to the drama, didn't we? Let's go 2-0 down.
Yeah,
and then we'll get going.
When we went 2-0 down, I'm starting to think, you know what, this could be one of those days.
Yeah.
To be fair, within 5 minutes, we're back in it. Thomas Partey redeems himself, gets a goal at the other end, an assist by Smith Rowe.
Yeah.
So you're thinking, okay, 2-1, still
now,
enough time. I'm starting to believe again now. I'm thinking, it's back on. You saw the energy of the players. Everybody was urging each other on, and you're thinking, yeah, man, that's good. 70th minute, Ben White, of all people.
Benny Blanco. Back post.
Just come out the tanning salon.
Straight out.
To the back.
Fresh tan.
Fresh tan.
You know what I mean?
Straight in the back of the net. It was a little bit of a delay. It did look like it had gone over.
Oh, yeah.
So
I think that was his first goal for Arsenal, they were saying.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, Nelson with the assist as well.
Yeah.
Who obviously became the hero of the
hero,
day.
Man. So at 2-2 now, I'm starting to think, because there is time in
Plenty
this
of
game
time
to get that winner. You know what I mean? You're thinking, you know what, the momentum has shifted now. Arsenal look back in control, and the 2-2, you think, we're going to... But it wasn't quite happening, was it?
That little 15-20 minutes between the second goal and the third, I was like, it's disappearing away from us.
Yeah.
The time was just going so quick. We were struggling to create big chances, shots going all over the place. I thought...
and to be fair, Bournemouth were defending for their lives.
They were.
You know what I mean? With the low blocks, throwing people in front of the ball, and they were doing everything they could. And I'm going to say this as well, a couple of times they looked quite threatening on the break. So much to the point that I was thinking, you know what? I'll take the 2-2.
Oh, no. No,
because
I never reached that point.
Oh, I did.
Did you?
Yeah,
I must confess. The draw.
I was thinking it's not a loss. We'll still have a couple of points.
Take a Desmond.
Lead. Yeah, I thought, you know what, it's just one of those days. I was putting it down to that. I was thinking, you know what, it's not a loss, is it?
I wasn't in that
we
mind
come back
frame.
from
I can't lie.
down. Yeah, you know, it's going to feel like a loss, but it's not a loss.
Yeah.
That's the mindset.
Do you know what? I respect you for being in that mindset.
Yeah, I said it on the stream when I was, you know, a couple of the guys
take a
on
draw.
there was...
I was a long way away
I think,
from
mind
that.
you, when I said that, I think that was about the 90th minute.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was saying, you know what, it looks like it's going to...
Putting the positive spin on it, you know, we
I was
came back
already
from
getting
2-0
those positive
down.
speeches out, you know what I mean? But one thing you got to say about this team, man, they keep going right until the end. And what can I say? 97th minute, we get a corner. Everyone in the ground's thinking it's now or never.
Yeah.
The ball comes through to Reece Nelson. What a strike that was, man.
Oh. Do you know what I was thinking, honestly, watching that? When I saw the defender head Odegaard's corner away, I thought he's got, because we was already, I think, 50 seconds over the 6 minutes of time added on. Yeah. So as soon as he heads it, I'm thinking the ref's going to blow the whistle. But then you see the ball going to Nelson, the referee's standing right next to him. So I'm like, oh, can he do something here? And when he hit it, he couldn't have hit the ball any better. No. On his weaker foot as well. You look how much power was in that shot. The goalkeeper doesn't get anywhere near it. If he hits that another 100 times, he probably doesn't hit it as sweet as that. And do you know what? I don't think it could have happened. I felt like it was the right person for that moment to happen, because I think that probably rescues his Arsenal career a little bit. Out of contract in the summer, stories come out today, they're in talks about a new deal. You know, if he doesn't score and he just has a quiet end to the season, they might let him go. But I think that's given him that belief now. Everyone's talking about him. I had him on the green screen today. Do you know what I mean? And do you know what? He's a lot of people said coming through the ranks, he was like our star player.
Yeah, I've heard a few people say that they'd earmarked him for big things from an early age.
Yeah.
So
ahead of Saka.
And I saw his post-match interview where he's talking about the amount of work he's had to put in, and you know what he's had to go through with the injuries and loss of form and one or two other things that's happened to him off the pitch. So for him to, you know what I mean, encapsulate that moment was, I mean, it was bedlam, man.
Oh, it was crazy.
I swear, listen, we was in the studio here, which isn't too far from the ground, but I could definitely hear the noise.
You could hear the noise from it. Yeah. It was just like, it was one of them endings. You couldn't write a script, could you, like that?
No.
2-0 down, thinking it's over. Pep's probably at home thinking, there we go. They're crumbling. And Nelson slaps one in. I mean, I was getting messages off fans already of other teams like, oh, he bottled it. And Bournemouth, you know, Liverpool beat them 9-0 and you can't beat them at home.
That's it. Your title hopes are gone.
Title hopes are gone. And do you know what? I think winning a game like that gives you more than if we'd have just beat them 2 or 3-0. It gives you something else. You saw the way we celebrated, although the FA didn't like the way we celebrated. They're going to try and do us in again for it.
But it was very reminiscent of the Villa game in a way, wasn't it? Because you're thinking the game's going to meander to that, to that draw, that 2-2 draw, and then lo and behold, Jorginho steps up, bang. 3-2. I mean, that one was away from home as well, against, to be fair, let's say, a better team than Bournemouth.
Yeah.
But there was something about this game, that winner, that just, it got me thinking, man, is this fate?
I saw your fan cam and you was mentioning that, weren't you? And it does kind of feel like that, but you're saying we're going to win it, and listen, I hope we're going to win it, but I'm still holding back a little bit. Because I just
really, what, even now?
Yeah, I am. You know,
wow.
Do you know why?
I'm
because
surprised, bro.
and I hope that doesn't sound pessimistic. Because obviously, I fully hope we win it, and I believe we can. It's just,
where's your reservation then?
Do you know what it is for me? Is because even though we're winning these games, which is amazing, I'm still looking at it going, we've got to go to Anfield. You look at the way they played yesterday. I don't think they'll play like that again this season, but they're clearly rebuilding. Van Dijk's back and that. We got to go to the Etihad, and let's be honest, we didn't beat them in the home game. It was fairly comfortable in the end. So I'm still like, for us to win the league, I think we've got bigger hurdles to overcome than the ones that we've already been past, if you know what I mean. City, Liverpool, Newcastle away, Chelsea at home are still very big challenges for us, you know. So
I hear you, but I would counter that by saying this: the way things are going at the moment, I just think that it's ours to lose. And I know I've said this before and some of the fans have come at me, but I genuinely do believe it, bro. And I just think that when you see games like the one on Saturday, you saw the Villa game, and there's been a few others in the season as well where we've come back. We're like the comeback kings.
Yeah.
And you just see these games play out like that, and you think to yourself, you know what? It was written, man. It's been written for us to win this thing.
Do you know, I hope you're right. The thing what does give me a lot of belief, though, on the other hand, is Gabriel Jesus. I just feel like to get a player of that quality back,
coming back,
it could be a game changer for us. We haven't had Jesus since November. That was our big summer signing. game changer for us this season. And we've literally got, I mean, we're in March now. We haven't had him since November. He trained after the game on the pitch. He was doing contact work as well now, which Arteta said he hasn't been doing. So he's probably only a week or two from being back in the fold. And I just think him coming back into this team
just adds to the vibe.
Just adds, man, just that little, you know what I mean?
No, I hear you.
That excites me. Seeing him back in the team is going to be exciting.
Oh, yeah. And added to what's already happening, you think, and see, this is another reason why I'm so confident.
I hear you.
But to go back to that win, man, I mean, listen, a couple of weeks before that, we saw that great win against Villa. But in many ways, this win kind of eclipsed that.
I think
because it was just like, it was so profound.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking, was this the greatest comeback win for Arsenal in the Premier League era? I can't think of any more dramatic than that. I could think of a few dramatic Arsenal wins. I mean, one win, come from behind win, it wasn't even actually in the Premier League, that always stands out to me was back in 2012. The Carabao Cup win against Reading.
Oh, yeah.
We were 4-0 down. And come back and win 7-5.
Yeah, I remember that Walcott. I think.
There was the Bolton game where we come back, beat them 3-2 after being 2-0 down. I think we're down to 10 men as well.
I remember
the Wolves game a year ago.
Wolves,
we came back.
Two that spring to mind for me, just because I went to these two games, was I remember at the Emirates we were 1-0 down to Man United. I think Rooney scored, and then Van Persie equalised, and Henry with the last minute.
Oh right, yes, yeah.
And then the other one for me is obviously the Leicester one, Valentine's Day, 1-0 down. I think Vardy scored a penalty. And Welbeck, last minute header, jumped into the North Bank. I honestly left the stadium that day thinking we were champions. That's why I'm scared to commit to it now, because I remember that day thinking, I was thinking Leicester, we'd beaten them home and away that season. I was thinking, that's it, we've got them, we've got the league now. And I think Giroud went 15 games without scoring.
I remember
and
that
the rest
well.
was history, you know. So they're two that spring to mind. I'm sure in the comments, let us know.
This is it. I want the
Premier
people
League
to put it in the comments. Let us know. Call us up, man. Tell us what you think. But that win on Saturday for me was one of the most dramatic come from behind wins I've ever seen in the Premier League. Certainly for Arsenal. And I want the people out there to let us know if they can.
There's another one in my mind. I think it was at Highbury. I'm sure.
There's one against Tottenham.
Liverpool went 1-0 up, I think, at Highbury. It might have been Michael Owen and Henry. I think it was the game when Henry did that run between about 5 Liverpool players and slotted it. I think we went 1-0 down in that game. But
I think the 2011-2012 season, Arsenal came from 2 goals down against Tottenham.
At the Emirates.
And beaten 5-2.
Yeah. Walcott chipped the keeper. We've had some good ones against them.
I said, that Bolton game, going back a few years now, I think it was 2008, 2-0 down to 10 men, and we come back and beat them 3-2.
Yeah.
So there has been,
There's
Arsenal,
been plenty.
But I just think the one, given the gravitas of the moment, how much that game meant. Because, let's face it, they're all big games. And to come back from 2-0 down and clinch it in the 97th minute with a goal like that as well.
Do you know what? You obviously wrote a title the other week for a show. I think you were saying, was that the game that kind
of...
Do you know what I mean? I feel if we win the league, I think we will look back at this game and say, to keep that 5-point gap on City, and because I always feel with this City team, you've got to stay as far away from them as possible. Because Pep seems to lose his mind when they drop points. He doesn't take defeat easily, does he? He really has a meltdown. So,
he would have been gutted.
He would have.
He would never admit that publicly.
No.
In fact, what I'm going to say? It's a good thing that they weren't playing the 5 o'clock game. Because can you imagine? Because I think it happened to them before like that, didn't it?
Yeah.
Where, they thought we were going to slip up against Villa. And we didn't. And look, you imagine if they'd have gone into that game against whoever and we just pulled off that dramatic win against Bournemouth, and then they have to play in the 5:30 kickoff.
Put more pressure on them.
It puts a lot more pressure on you.
You know what's interesting with Pep? If Arsenal were to win the league, I think Pep's one of the best in the world, if not the best in the world. But if Arsenal win the league, you've seriously got to go back and question the Zinchenko and Jesus deal.
I was just about to say that.
Because I think at the time, he sold them to us thinking, them man just finished 5th. They ain't going to be near us. And then all of a sudden, you know, them two have transformed us. Zinchenko's been a great signing. Jesus up until the injury was brilliant.
And I would add to that as well, and this is why I definitely don't think that he thought would be a threat. He probably thought he was helping our man out.
Yeah.
Arteta.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're quite close. They work together. He's got a lot of respect for
Yeah,
Arteta.
yeah.
He's probably thinking, yeah, you know,
Take them two.
Zinchenko and Jesus. We got Ireland and them, man.
Yeah, yeah. Take them, man.
Yeah,
Try and get fourth. I'll win the
hold
league.
that, you know.
Yeah, hold that, my brother. Hold that.
You might get Champions League
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
them, man, there. You know what I mean? But he wasn't expecting
All
us
change now.
to come through like that.
Yeah.
We're going to take some callers soon. I'll be
Yeah, man.
interested to hear what they got to say.
Yeah.
Just before I do that, there's a super chat we've got here from Jasha Josiah.
Big up,
He says,
Jay.
big up Lieutenant Levy Lorry Lyrics Curtis.
Yo.
Thanks for that, bro.
Big him
Respect. Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking at these sequence of wins.
Yeah.
These come from behind wins and these last minute dramatic winners, and I'm thinking to myself, this is the stuff of fate, bro.
I
I
hope
said
you're
that
right.
to Robbie the other day, and he was a bit
Cautious.
like you, he's a
Yeah.
bit cautious, a bit reticent. But I'm like, seriously, like you look at these results we're getting, and it's just the stuff that champions are made from.
I hope so.
And I do
hope
think
so.
that when we win the league, not if,
No,
when,
speak it into existence, man. Say it.
we're going to look back on these days and think, you know what, why was we ever even doubting it? When you can get wins like that, I mean, the space of a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Do you know what?
Come from behind wins like that.
If Arteta wins this title, I think you could argue this is possibly one of our biggest titles ever in the Premier League, because you look at the other titles when Wenger's won them, we've had great teams with top players there, you know, Wright, Ian, Bergkamp and Henry. Nobody would have predicted Arsenal to win the title at the start of the season.
Nobody.
So if he does manage to pull it off ahead of that Man City team with all their money and add in Haaland, you know, I think will be an unbelievable achievement. I really hope he does it.
Yeah.
Really hope. I think this team deserves it. I know it sounds biased, but I think I think it needs to be shifted for the sake of the Premier League to show that you can take it off this Man City team. You know?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I was one of those. I'm not going to lie. I was one of those that I had my reservations about the manager at the start of this season. I think a lot of people did.
I didn't. I've always rated it.
Just like you was in full support of Granit Xhaka.
Yeah.
I remember you saying unequivocally on the show how much you rated it. But no, seriously,
Yeah.
I was one of those. I had some reservations.
Yeah.
But I've got to give it to him, man.
He's turned it around.
Yeah, he has.
Right, let's get you on the show,
I'm
people.
being told by our technical staff in no uncertain terms
Yeah.
that we have some callers. So I'm gonna
Put your
my
damn headphones on.
Yeah.
Emmanuel in the building.
You need to turn me up a bit.
What's up, guys?
Hey, what's happening, bro?
What's going on?
Hey, man.
Where are you based?
I'm from Connecticut in the United States.
Connecticut.
Okay.
Nice part.
Yeah.
I've been to Connecticut a few times when I've been visiting family in
really?
New York. Yeah.
50 Cent mansions there, innit?
Yeah.
Was that the one with 42 bedrooms?
Yeah, the
one that
Mike
he sold to
Tyson
Mike
house,
Tyson?
wasn't it? Yeah.
Or the one that he bought from Mike
He
Tyson?
bought it off
Yeah,
Tyson, didn't he? Yeah, go on.
Anyway, enough of that. Right. Tell us what you think. We think that Saturday's win was the most dramatic Arsenal win in the Premier League era. Would you agree, disagree, or is there anything else you want to say?
You know, I'd have to agree with that. You know what it reminded me of? Back in 2015, 2016, when Danny Welbeck headed that goal in at the Emirates against Leicester.
Yeah.
Yeah, Curtis just mentioned
And
it.
at that point, I'm not even gonna lie to you, I thought we're on our way to win the Premier League. I mean, the emotions were high. It was a crazy goal last minute, but this one was something else. You know, to go down 1-0, to go down 2-0, to come back, score 1, 2, and then Reece Nelson, the guy who hasn't even been playing all year, he's been through a lot of injuries, a lot of people giving up on him. For him to come in and assist the goal, and then the quality of that goal just to chest it down with the weaker foot, it was incredible. I mean, I was actually working on it at the time, and you know what? My stream went out. It went out in the 94th minute with Neto laying on the ball.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, man, I think the game's going to be over. I know the goalkeeper's sitting on it. Next thing you know, I'm getting a text. I'm getting a call. I'm getting a DM. I'm like, no way. Go back on the stream. Celebrate at the end of the game. I couldn't believe it. Wow, what a performance. I mean, Jeez.
Amazing performance.
Yeah.
I'm going to admit, bro, like I was, and I say this, with shame, but I would have taken a draw, and I'll tell you the reason being is that given the circumstances of that game, to come from 2 goals down, and don't forget there was a couple of decisions in that game that never went our way in terms of penalty appeals, and I was just looking at the game and thinking, you know what, let's just get out of Dodge with a 2-2. We dropped a couple of points, but we'll pick it back up next week. I was thinking, okay, 2. It's not a good result, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Tell me, did you have that feeling, or was you hoping right to the end there that we might pull it out?
You know, I'll tell you what, if it wasn't for the Aston Villa game, I probably would have taken the draw. But seeing this team, the resilience they've been showing the past, few weeks, all season, honestly, I needed the win just because Bournemouth was so low on the table. Yeah. We're at home. The fans are behind us. And on top of that, we're really not even going to be talking about all those handballs or missed penalties. If it wasn't for this win, we'd be having a lot of different conversations yet again with the referees. And you know what? Probably at that point, I probably would have taken a point. But, I mean, the 3 points is just such a massive boost. It makes such a big difference when it comes down to it. And you know what? That could be the difference between us, winning the title or losing it. So
I was going to say that was going to be my next question, my supplementary. Do you think that the way that game panned out on Saturday, do you now think, are you starting to firmly believe that the title's ours? Or do you still, like Curtis feels, we still got some way to go?
We have some way to go, but it's hard when you're a fan to not think that this could be our year, I mean, we've come up short a few times, like I said about the Danny Welbeck moment in 2015-16. And it's just, I'm just enjoying the ride right now. It's been incredible. Before the season, we all were saying, top 4 or possibly the manager has to leave. And at this point, this manager could put his statement not only at the football club, but in world football. If he wins this title, I mean, it is something else. For this team is special. And, I want to win the title. I don't want to go as far as to say it's ours because there's still a long way to go. I think that Man City game is going to be massive. If we win that game, I'll say, we'll win the title. But we still got a ways to go.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I'm just enjoying the ride, like I said. It's been a great year.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
100%.
Listen, bro, thank you very much for your call. We're much appreciated. You said some very wise words there.
Big up to you, bro.
But yeah, man, thank you very much. You must call back. You must call back. Thank you very much. Take care. Right, bro.
We got Elijah on next, I think.
Got Elijah on. Before I go to Elijah, I've got another super chat here from Jerry Sims. He says, petition to change club crest to older style badge.
I like the old badge.
Yeah.
A lot of clubs seem to change badge, don't they? But yeah, I'm not sure why. But
okay, that's food for thought.
Yeah.
Food for thought. Okay, our next caller.
Big up, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes,
we can hear you.
Right. Can you give us your name? Tell us where you're calling from.
Elijah Reyes, a regular.
We seem to have lost you. Are you back now? You there, Elijah?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. I got you back.
Yep.
Okay, bro, go ahead. What point did you want to make?
Yeah. Well, I've got a few points because I'm a regular viewer of your show.
Oh,
and
thank you very much, man.
Strong opinions. I go to as many home games as I can.
Yeah.
But considering in the perspective of Saturday's game, I didn't get to go thanks to my wife. But I watched the game and straight up for the entire game, even when we went 2 down, we're winning this game. Said that to my wife.
Wow.
And I'm usually quite animated, but I was calm, collected for the entire game.
Really?
Wow.
Until Reece banged that one in. I almost destroyed the hotel room. Scenes,
bro. Oh, you know what? You know what they say: happy wife, happy life, innit? So you had to miss a game, but no, I don't think anybody kept their composure when that goal went in. I was out of control, man. It was wild. It's one of them moments because as a football fan, you go through a lot emotionally, don't you? You really follow your team and you care. And we've had some tough years, let's be honest, since Wenger's left and Emery and the fallout and even Arteta for a couple of years. So I think it is important we do enjoy the journey and where it takes us, and celebrate them moments.
So how long, Elijah, if you don't mind me asking, how long have you been supporting Arsenal?
So I moved to the UK in 2005.
Right.
Didn't really follow football, just because of where I lived. I was more the American sports.
Yeah. I was going to say, so given that then, do you think that this is, well, what we saw on Saturday was Arsenal's most dramatic win since you've been following the club?
Well, for me, yes, simply because of how much is riding on it.
Yeah.
How much is riding on it. It felt... So for me, I've watched games where you kind of think, we could come back, because all the way through the game I was like, we're punishing this team, they're going to tire, we're gonna get that goal. But I wasn't seeing it coming, and I've watched many a game where it just never happens for us.
That's right.
And for it to happen this with the last kick of the game, it has to be possibly the most exciting game I've watched.
Even more dramatic than the Villa win, I think, to be honest.
Absolutely.
One thing I would say as well is that there's been a suggestion by some people that Arsenal were lucky, in inverted commas, on Saturday. And I don't see it that way at all. Yes, we got the win with the very last kick of the game. But as you said, my friend, the amount of possession, the amount of chances we were creating, the amount of shots we had on goal. I think we had over 30 shots on goal on Saturday. So just because we get the winning goal with the last kick of the game does not mean it's lucky.
No.
I'm sure you guys would agree with me on that. So I thought I'd just put that out there, because some people say, "Oh, lucky."
No, you make your own.
At all. You make your own. Absolutely, you make your own luck.
So if you think about it, there was how many reviews, VAR reviews throughout that game. Now, my belief is, if you play well enough, the officials should not be able to distort the outcome of a game. You should not rely on officials to
I agree.
Adjust the outcome of the game. Unfortunately, we've seen throughout the season that they've done the opposite for us, and it's facts. I don't know if there's agenda or whatever. I don't want to talk about that. What Saturday proved is that if you do play well enough, despite what whether it goes for you or not, you make your luck. I know I can't be on forever, so I just want to make a massive point quickly.
Yeah, sure.
When we got Arteta, whatever years ago it was, I was like underwhelmed by the fact that we got Arteta. When he took us to the FA Cup final, and I was there, and I saw what he did with what he had, how tactically astute he is. I was he got me, and I have never wavered since. Disappointed with last season, but I want to say the project has gone bang. Even if we don't win the league, and I believe we're going to, I could finally say, I think we're going to win I know we're going to win the league because of Saturday's result. I'm still behind this manager. I'm still behind this team, and I think we have big things to come.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Well said.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, appreciate you.
Yeah,
appreciate that, man. Make some very good comments. I do like what you said about when you're talking about the decisions that have gone against us, and you're saying that at the end of the day, you want to see the team put all those things beyond doubt. So it's down to the team to do their stuff on the pitch, and then we could talk about all the other stuff afterwards. But yeah, great call, bro. You must call back. Appreciate it very much.
All the best, bro.
Thank you very much. And talking as well, Elijah made some very good points, not least the one he made about Arteta. I'm going to say this because I have criticised him in the past, but in recent weeks, his substitutions have been spot on.
Brilliant.
You know what I mean? Brilliant. So I've got to give him that.
And we always used to speak about that. I mean, even taking Tommy Asu off at half time was a great decision. No disrespect to Tommy, he was having a bad day. I feel like Arteta used to wait and wait. You know, maybe a goal would happen and then he would make a change. Now, proactive, he's improving, he's learning.
So there have been some very positive substitutions. People coming off the bench and scoring goals. Changes that he's made in the team. You know what I mean? Dropping players, bringing other players in. So this is growth, what we're seeing. Right?
It is.
Growing as a manager. So, enough respect to him for that. 100%. Okay, we should have another call on the line. Hey.
Hey, here he is. Oh, he's got more merch on. He's got more merch.
Greetings from Ghana, Curtis and Laurie.
Yeah, big up, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Big
How
up.
you doing? How you doing?
I'm good. And you?
I'm fine, man. I'm fine.
I can see the smile. I can see the smile on your face.
What was that? The goalkeeper kit, or is that a training kit? I can't remember that one.
Yeah. I think it was the third kid for last season.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are you feeling after Saturday, man? Do you know what I said on Sunday's stream, that it felt like I'd been out clubbing all night. You know, I woke up like, have I been out all night? Like, I was tired emotionally, but it's worth it when you win the game like that, innit? What a way to win it.
But I had every confidence we're going to win that game. I don't know where the confidence came from. Even while it was still 93 minutes, 94 minutes, I was still positive we're still going to win this game. I was having a smile. I was having a smile that we're going to win. But after his nurses got the tell, I had waters all over my eyes.
I must say, normally I'm quite confident person when it comes to stuff like this. But as I was saying to Curtis, and I said on the show earlier, I would have, at 90 whatever minutes it was, I would have taken the 2-2. I would have just put it down to, we didn't have a great day, you know, but we didn't lose. We're still top of the table by a couple of points. We move on to the next week. That was my mindset. And then lo and behold, bang, 97 minutes, Reece Nelson, and the rest is history. What's your thoughts? So you always thought that we would probably get back in it?
Yeah, the reason why I thought we were always going to come back in this game, if you watch the game, during the VAR calls, the player wasn't sulking, the players were just carrying on. If the referee said it's not a penalty, you see them, okay, let's go on. Like, everybody was, whatever is going to happen today, we're going to get this 3 points. And for me, that's enough for me to give me a reason why I believe no matter how, no matter where, we're going to find the win in that on Saturday.
Do you know what I want to ask you? Just something we haven't spoken about is, obviously there was 4 handball appeals in that game from Arsenal.
Yeah.
Do you think any of them should have been given, or if so, how many of them? Because I don't think all 4 of them should have been given.
No.
Definitely 1 or 2 of them I think should have been given.
I feel the first one, the one in the first half, Tomiyasu being kicked, and the one, I think Gabriel Eder, that was handball by Billy. Those are the 2 pen. Those are the 2 pen for me that shouldn't even go for a VAR record. The referee should have seen that, and even if the referee didn't see it, the VAR should have seen it, because Tomiyasu was clearly kicked at his foot, and Billy clearly handed the ball with his hands. So I don't know how, but like I said, the players didn't even bother themselves. Okay, like crying, like somebody I know from Manchester.
I've got to ask you, what do you make of this news that's emerged in the last day or so, that the FA are to investigate Arsenal celebrations after that win on Saturday? What's your thoughts on that?
It's not new to me.
We think it's pretty ridiculous that they're going to be looking at that. I'd have thought they'd have got far more urgent things to look at than that, to be honest.
I heard the FA was going to look up to the Arsenal press, the match against Aston Villa. So, looking at the celebration, it's no stranger to me anymore. If you're going to look at the brawl between the Arsenal press and the Aston Villa press because of the celebration, then they can even look at the goalkeeper, whatever they want to look. I don't care about that. All I care about the 3 points.
No, it's true. We just listen, like you said, we've just got to do our job, haven't we? If you know, I mean, we can't rely on referees. Clearly,
it always seems strange though that Arsenal seem to attract the celebration police.
I don't know. I always say we're not the media. We're not the team that the media in England love. They love Man United. They love Liverpool. You know, I don't think Tottenham as well. Not Arsenal, but we don't need to be loved by outsiders anyway.
Well, hopefully that will make victory even sweeter.
Exactly.
But
Imagine
while they're looking at that, they might want to look at that Bournemouth first goal, because as myself and Curtis were saying earlier on in the show, whilst it was a great training ground move that they pulled off with a little bit of help from Gabriel, they pulled off very well. But if you look at that goal again, right, when they kick off, there's at least 1, maybe 2 Bournemouth players encroaching in the Arsenal half. Was it 3? Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
So technically, that goal should not have stood.
No.
Then, as you know, we've already said about the possible 4 handballs.
Handballs, yeah.
Which on a normal day you would expect to get at least 1 of those from law of averages. So hey. But like I said, man, these things make the win even sweeter.
Yeah, I don't want to pay too much attention about the Bournemouth game because for me that's past. I really wanted to talk about the show we had the last time, asking about if the Everton game was the game of revenge or was the game we should. I told you that game for me is the most important game of the season. And as you can see right now, you are asking me the Aston Villa game was the most important game. I told you we still have a lot of game coming up, and the game against Everton for me because we now have that 5 points, and you see the players they are all playing to keep that 5 point lead over Manchester City. For me, I think it's very, very important. That's why I say the Everton game for me is the most important game for the season because right now we have that 5 points, and all we have to do now is just to play to keep that 5 point ahead of Manchester City.
No, I see where you're coming from. Although, would you say, okay, so that's the most important win, but would you say that the win on Saturday, the way we got it, was the most dramatic?
Absolutely, yeah. Because of what was in line, so you have to say it's the most dramatic win because a lot of 20% of the fans only have hope. I believe 80% doesn't have hope we're going to win that game. So coming back from 2 goals behind and winning is very, very important, and in a dramatic way. And the person that scored the goal, Reece Nelson, never could have been a better person than Reece Nelson. So for me, it's one of my favorite games so far this season.
Definitely.
I'm sure we both agree with you on that. Yeah. Listen, bro, thank you very much for your call.
Great call as always.
Great call as always. Like Curtis said there, you must call back. Appreciate that. Hey, we got another call.
Yo.
Hey, how are you guys?
We're good, man. We're good.
Don't mind my voice. I'm still recovering from the screaming.
Right, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I'm Johnny J for short. I'm calling from Sierra Leone.
Oh, Sierra Leone. Wow. I think that's our first call from
this is actually my second time.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, yeah. On our show, this is the first call from Sierra Leone. Big up, man.
Yeah, man. Big up.
So, also, I'm hearing that we also got a big fan base in Sierra Leone. Is that right?
Massive, man. Massive.
Wow. This is amazing.
And I can tell you right now, the banter and the screaming, the shouting, and everything is going on really big, especially that we're doing so well right now.
Man.
The other fans are just hating. Every day they keep telling us we're gonna come down.
Bro, I'm wearing my Arsenal shirt and just walking with the shoulders up. You know what I mean? Everything's, you know what I mean? That swagger's back now.
I can tell you, this is one of the perfect weekends because imagine we're winning that kind of way, and the next day United being battered 7-0.
The perfect storm.
Perfect, man. 7-0 beatdown.
I'm telling you.
So we've been asking the question. We've been asking the question on the show. Was this the most dramatic Premier League win ever in Arsenal's history? What do you think?
Well, I've been actively watching Arsenal since 2005 because I actually watched games in 2004. The Invincible, I could only remember a few of the games.
Okay.
But in terms of dramatic, I would say in the Premier League, yes, because I think in another competition, that game against I can't remember. We won like 6-4. It was 4 goals down or something.
Yeah, that was a Reading
game. In the Premier League,
I
think. In the Premier League, I would take this game. This one was so dramatic, especially the timing, the goal down and everything. Then what we're fighting for in the league is also crazy.
Yes.
I'll pick this one.
I'm with you on that. And you're right to reference the game you were talking about is the
Reading,
Reading game. We were 4-0 down in the Carrot. I think that was 2012, that game.
And I've got a suggestion, and I want this to get to Arsenal officially.
Right.
When we finally win the league, or when we're about to win the league, if it's possible, I want them to invite DJ Khaled to come and do a show on the day we're lifting the trophy. The reason being not because of the another one, but because God did. Nobody believed in us, but we believe in ourselves, and God did. Some great leaders, when Martinelli scored, they tell us that Gabriel was saying to Nelson was saying to Nelson, like, God did, something like that. Some people actually spot it on the game.
Oh, interesting.
So
Powerful
just think
words,
about it. If DJ Khaled would be invited to Arsenal, that would be a nice celebration, man.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
I don't mind
let's do it. Listen, bro, thank you very much for your call.
Take care,
really
bro.
appreciate it. Send a big up to all the Sierra Leone and Arsenal fans on behalf of AFTV. And we hope that one day you can meet up, bro.
Yeah, man. All the best, bro.
Yeah, my brother, my little brother is close by in London, there near the stadium. He's always showing me pictures of the Emirates and everything. Hopefully I'll join him soon, so I can't wait.
Yeah, man.
If you ever do, man, make sure you come and come say hi at one of our fan cams after a game or something like that. Yeah.
Definitely. My brother met with Robbie one of them like a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
And Robbie was telling us that they planned to come to Sierra Leone before the pandemic, but everything got cancelled and everything.
Okay. Well, hopefully we can.
So hopefully you guys can come because when you come to me, you're gonna be surprised. The support here is very, very massive.
Oh
yeah,
wow,
man, that's good, man.
That's very encouraging to hear that.
Yeah.
Listen, bro,
Nice
thank you
speaking
very
to you
much.
guys.
Yeah,
Take care. All the best,
thank you
man.
very much. It's a great call, man.
Albert's on next.
Just before we speak to Albert, I've got a quick super chat I want to read out here from Elijah Reyes. He says, I meant to say fire to the haters and the celebration police. Their bad mind will not defeat us. The togetherness across the club will run.
Yeah, man.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, man.
Right, bro.
What's happening?
What's going on? What's going on?
It's another. We had you on last weekend. It's another big win.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think every single game. I mean, I'm a betting man.
Yeah.
I know. I remember it was like a Monday night. We had just batted Brentford 3-0. Watching all the Premier League games, nobody's dominated the way Arsenal have, even in the preseason. And I knew from that moment, my belief has never left. We were going to win the league. I knew that from August, and it's March. And I've told all my friends that, and it was like, wait till the World Cup, and then wait till February. Wait after you play City, and now what? Now we have to run into this last run in April. And I mean, I've not just to go back on that Bournemouth game. I've watched that Nelson goal about 100 times in the last 48 hours.
Yeah,
it was incredible. I mean, my siblings they were so sick of just hearing me yell like that. But I mean, taking away emotions like from the game, I mean, we dominated them. It was just, they catch us on the counter. Teams respect us on a low block.
Yeah.
And Solanke had a couple chances. Ramsdale had to come up big in that game.
He did.
But those are the kind of games that we play now, especially against these relegation sides. Like Everton tried to do the same thing. They were holding up. But it's like I said, Everton put in the game of their life the first time they played us, and we obviously broke them down. But yeah, I mean,
I think you make a good point, man. Even in pre-season in America, when we watched them, we were like, this team looks incredible, but we weren't getting carried away, because I remember Arsenal beating Bayern Munich in pre-season before and then struggling in the season, but they've actually taken that into the season, haven't they, and just carried it on the whole way through, man.
Shall I tell you the pre-season game for me that stood out was the win against Chelsea?
Oh yeah, that's the one.
You remember we slapped up Chelsea like that? I was thinking to myself, you know what, this looks very...
We was looking at their team sheet that day going, they've signed Koulibaly, they got Sterling. I was thinking, and we slapped them up 4-0. I was like, no, we look like something's happening right now. Yeah. And it has happened so far.
Yeah, it's been transformative. I've loved every second of the season, even in our rough patches, even in the blips, the way they like to call it. And it's just like hearing the FA's charging us, but Bruno Fernandes can push a ref. And it's just crazy to me. It's madness.
It does sound really crazy.
They really do hate us. They hate us. I mean, and I've told my friends, like, I'm going to be insufferable when we lift that Premier League trophy at the end of the year. It's not an if, it's when. And I remember watching one of the post-match conference. They were saying something about fate. They asked Arteta about fate, and if he believed in it, and he agreed with it. And it's part of it's fate. Everybody says, Laura, back to you saying, was it luck? Everybody needs a bit of luck, but you make your own luck.
Absolutely.
You dominate,
Definitely.
and we've dominated the game. 25 corners, 30 plus shots. You don't make this up. And then you have Neto time wasting his way trying to get a point out of us.
Some people were saying that the goal was a minute over the allocated time, but then that's the minimum time
Yeah.
given, isn't it?
And I don't know if you saw, there was a report that the ref said that one of their players was down injured in like the 90th or 91st minute, and he was obviously taking his time, and he said that because of that injury they added another minute on. So he was probably doing that to time waste, and that caused them to get another minute, and that's when we scored. So
because people need to recognise that it's the minimum time.
Minimum, it can be
not
extended.
the maximum time. So it is possible that they
from when they took a goal off us at Brentford and didn't draw the lines. I don't want to hear no talk about, you know what I mean, a minute extra being added on, man. We deserve to win that game anyway. So.
But to go back to that point you made about luck, you're so right, because there was nothing lucky about Reece Nelson's shot. When he looked up, you saw his first touch, he brought the ball down.
So cold.
Yeah,
Ice
unerring
cold.
accuracy. There's nothing lucky about that, bro. You know what I mean? So when people say, "Oh, you were lucky," it's a ridiculous statement, really.
It's an unbelievable
he
goal.
Absolutely meant to put it in the corner of the goal line.
Yeah.
So that's that, you know. So
do you know what? I respect his bravery for hitting it, because you know, a lot of players there, you would bring that down and maybe just clip it back into the area. There's a lot of people there, you could just throw it in there.
Yeah, he took responsibility.
Imagine if he just put that in the crowd. Everyone would be like, what's he doing? Last kick of the game.
Just have a shot.
He took that bravery that, listen, on my weaker
You could say
foot.
that. You could say that about Jorginho. I mean, even Arteta's like, I didn't even know Jorginho could hit the ball like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, it's like one of those things. You know, you own it. Last kick of the game.
You know the good thing I've noticed in recent weeks as well is that we're getting goals from all over the pitch, all different players. You know what I mean? Which is very encouraging.
Players, right?
Yeah.
All these things are very encouraging, and it just adds to the confidence I have. But I've noticed that your confidence, bro, is unwavering. I mean, you said yourself that you predicted Arsenal to win from the start of the season. You've been confident all the way through.
After the third match day, I remember that Monday night. I had a couple drinks and I was sitting there. I was like, I'm gonna bet on Arsenal in the league. And my friends, like, after we've lost, especially after the Everton loss, they were like, yeah, take your money and run, because you can cash out. I'm like, I'm waiting until that ticket is fully green and it has Arsenal Premier League winners on the ticket, whatever. But I know my confidence is unwavering. It doesn't even matter. I think even if we play City and lose, there's something that tells me City is going to drop points. I mean, we almost lost against Bournemouth. I mean, it's anything's possible. But 12 games in, I think if we would have crumbled and collapsed, we'd be in fourth by now.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Listen, there's 12 games left, 26 games played, 12 games left. Let's be honest, both ourselves and City will drop points, but I just think that we will do enough to more than hold on. I absolutely do believe that. And on that note, bro, that confident note, we're going to end this call. But thank you very much.
Thanks for coming on, bro.
Appreciate you calling in, and you must call back again. Take
care, man. Got Ryan on next.
Ryan, what you saying, bro?
Yo.
Yes. Big up, Laurie and Curtis. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, man.
Ryan's one of our regular contributors.
Yeah, man.
So you seen the title? You seen the title? Was this one of the most dramatic, if not the most dramatic win ever, or have you seen a more dramatic win in the Premier League?
In terms of the Premier League, I've analysed it because obviously the Danny Welbeck winner against Leicester, and I'll just about say that this edges it, you know, Laurie. I would
agree.
There's not much in between it, because I had that feeling emotionally and mentally that I felt that we could go on to win the Premier League when Welbeck scored. But when I saw Reece Nelson, honestly, I had to remember I was still living with my mum, and literally I was running up and down my front room and kicked the lamp over. I spilled my drink. It was honestly, that feeling, I haven't felt like that in a very long time watching Arsenal at the Emirates. And even when in that title, like, wasn't the title winning, but even when we beat Leicester at the Emirates and Welbeck got the winner, I had that feeling that we could go on to win it, but our team wasn't as good as what it is now. I think I never had that overall general belief that we could go on and kick on to go on and win that title that year, because we were always chasing Leicester. We wasn't ahead of them for like 1 or 2 weeks, whereas because we've kept City at bay and we've opened up that 5-point cushion, obviously beating Everton during the week, I think that's given us as fans that real lift. And I'm just so happy we got over the line. And Reece Nelson, man, oh, hail end, man. It was made for him to
meant to be, wasn't it?
Lash one in the top corner. But I've got a question for you guys.
No one deserves it more.
I don't think you guys have touched on it, and I'm quite surprised that you haven't, to be honest. And in Turkish's fan cam, I think I've read it on Saturday when he did his video. He said, "Big win, but we must stop conceding at home." I'm quite worried about our home form at the Emirates, you know, because we've conceded 2 against Bournemouth, 2 against Leicester earlier on in the season, 2 against Man United and Liverpool, and we're leaking quite a few goals at the back. And Gabriel and Saliba, listen, I'm happy with our defence and our team, but it's just a thought and a worry for concern I thought I'd throw to you too. I mean, what do you think?
No, I think it's a great point, and that's why I even said off camera, like, this win was amazing, but we still got to acknowledge that we're conceding 2 goals at home to Bournemouth. I think a lot of it's come from the lack of stability in midfield. Like, Partey's been in and out. Xhaka, you look at that midfield we played on Saturday, it was wide open at times. We played with 2 number 8s, Vieira and Odegaard, with Partey sitting. That didn't work. And that's why they were hitting us on the counter-attack. And you've also, Zinchenko steps into midfield. If the ball breaks down, there's space down that side.
On the left.
Yeah, and you look at Bournemouth, they had pace on the counter-attack. They were hitting us on the break.
It caused us a lot of problems.
Problems, do you know what I mean?
And Curtis, that brings me nicely into my point of,
go on.
I think Arteta put that team out against Bournemouth over the weekend because he had one eye on the Sporting Lisbon game during the week on Thursday. So I think his head was caught in 2 minds because we got a massive game this week coming up, and I think it's a massive week because obviously I'm very interested to see what Arteta's thinking process was for Thursday's game and how he's going to address the Fulham game on Sunday, because obviously we played, I think the kickoff's 5:45 on Thursday, and then obviously flying back and the travelling. I hope that doesn't have a mental effect on what his team's going to be like for the Fulham game. Because personally, I've been battered over the last couple of days for saying this in my Arsenal group chats on WhatsApp. I'd have Saka on the bench, but personally, I'd like to see Reece out on the left to give him some more minutes. I'd want to see Smith Rowe come in, and I don't know what the latest is on Eddie Nketiah's injury, but I'm hoping he should be fine. Or if we can put Martinelli down the middle, because I would make a few changes, but I wouldn't rotate it completely because you don't want to get humiliated out there on Thursday night, man.
It's true. And obviously now it's a knockout game. If you go there and have a bad result, then you're scrambling in the second leg as well. Just quickly, a point I wanted to make. I wonder, with that team selection that Arteta picked against Bournemouth, because all year we haven't played with 2 number 8s. He's always played with 2 and then Odegaard in front. We were 6 goals behind Man City. I wonder if he was thinking, let's really give them a heavy beating to close that goal, because we don't want it to, but goal difference could come into effect down the line.
Gonna be massive goal difference.
But
I just hope. I mean, I think Arteta on the training ground will get into the boys' head and be like, listen, for me personally, our away form's been better than our home form this season, and it's just tightening up at the back and doing certain little things. Tomiyasu, you both have made some wicked points. I've agreed with pretty much all your points throughout listening to and having other callers on. Like Tomiyasu, he needed to be hooked off in that first half. And Ben White, for me, arguably probably one of the best right backs in the league this season, man. He's just been phenomenal, Ben White. And the only thing I'm quite gutted with, I think the glory, I've said this to you quite a few times, Kieran Tierney, man, I think that's the only worry. I think he's going to be gone in the summer, because I think he's looking at it and thinking, if I can't play against Bournemouth, what on earth? how on earth am I going to get minutes in this team? But I think Tierney will play on Thursday night. I think Arteta, those are the sort of changes I think he will make as well. So it'll be interesting. It's been a brilliant weekend, man. I mean, it's been Man United losing, Tottenham. I mean, they know a lot about this drink anyway, man.
Hey, that 7-Up, man. I'm telling you. Hey, do you know how mad it is? United losing and us winning. Tottenham no one's even talking about them.
True.
Adama Traore just slapping one crossbar and in, But hey, what a weekend, man.
Well, listen, bro. Great call as always. Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming on, bro.
Make sure you call back.
Enjoy that 7-Up, man.
I definitely will.
Take care. Okay, I think we've got another caller, but before we do so, we've got a super chat here from Farhai. He says, I don't see anyone talking about Bournemouth's initial kickoff. We did.
Oh, yeah.
2 of their players were in our half before the ball was kicked. Please go look at it. You do make a very good point. We have looked at it. In fact, we did speak on the show about it earlier. And yes, there was definitely encroachment there. And myself and Curtis were perplexed as to why, even if the referee missed it, that it wasn't picked up in the VAR room at Stockley. What are they doing down there, man?
I don't know
1 minute they're not drawing lines.
Yeah.
Now they're not even looking
I think they're having a party in there. They're just ordering pizza and just chilling, aren't they, for the day off, man? You know.
Yes, I don't know what's going on there, man.
Yeah.
But hey,
it is
what it is.
We still
We're
got the
winning
job
regardless.
done. Yeah, exactly.
But let's
last caller.
Yeah.
Hey, Laurie. Hey, Curtis.
Hey, man.
Hey, what's happening, bro?
How you guys doing? This is Steven. I'm calling from Pennsylvania.
Oh, big up, man. You got the cannons riding behind you, man.
I got the cannons. Yep. I got the badge there ready to go. So,
ready to go, man.
You know.
Right. So what would you like to talk about today?
Laurie, you know, I've been watching the Talk is Cheap show for quite a while. You know, I've heard all your introductions of Curtis and stuff. And let me just tell you, I always thought that Curtis is calm and cerebral. But there's somebody online who's doing these clips of all the live shows. Right. And so the last 2 weeks I've gotten to see clips of Curtis watching the game, and I can't believe it's the same guy. I mean, when Bournemouth scored the second goal, he went off. I couldn't believe it was the same person who normally is on the Talk is Cheap show.
He has to behave himself when he's there.
Yeah. Do you know? Yeah. you know. I always said when you go to your friend's house, you know, you're polite. Their mum's there. Hi, so yes, sir. Can I have a drink? When you go in your own house, you know what I mean. You do what you want, innit? So
you can let those
emotions
flow.
Yeah, that was crazy. But Laurie, just to answer your question, is this one of the best games, or you know? These sudden games that when you watch, like if you watch that game 10 years, highlights from the game, watch the game 10 years from now, you're still going to get that excitement. And what this reminds me of is when Arsenal beat Barcelona at home. And I can still remember the call, with the goal, and it's the same type of excitement that I feel like, 10, 20 years watching that game, I'm going to feel. Essentially it was like a buzzer beater, the last kick of the game, and you're scoring a goal, especially for how much it means. So it was probably one of my best wins, as an Arsenal fan. I mean,
really you can't get much more dramatic than winning a game.
You certainly can't.
The last kick of the game.
You're right. And speaking to that point, Laurie, with all the drama that we've had, I bet you Amazon is actually wishing that they had
wrong
done
season
this year instead of last year. As nice as it was to see the team develop last year, I mean, we've been filled with so much excitement and drama this year. I mean, it's made for the box office.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you think, like me, that it's almost fate that we're going to win it this year now?
Laurie, I tell you what, I've been saying this, and these type of wins are actually cementing my thought that it's meant to be. But I tell you what, even if it doesn't pan out, the excitement that I've been feeling just from the wins like this, and to see what how the fan base and the team has come together, it's been well worth it. They have a saying here in the States: any given Sunday, any one team can beat another. So we can't take for granted that Bournemouth can beat us, or you can lose to Watford, or you can lose to any team. Because those guys put on their boots the same way that our players put on their boots, and they get paid just like our guys get paid to play the game. So it's the wins are not guaranteed. So I'm not taking anything for granted. I'm just enjoying this ride, and it's been a heck of a ride so far.
Very sensible,
man.
Yeah, very
Great
approach.
comments, man. Great.
Yeah.
Maybe I might have to take them on board next time we concede a goal.
Laurie, Curtis, I'm gonna be watching. I think I'm gonna be watching your lives now, because I tell you what, that was pretty exciting just to see how animated you got. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it, bro.
Yes, bro. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the call, man.
All the best to you guys.
Thank you
Take
very
care.
much. Yeah.
Right, thank
No
you
more
for all the calls. Great
But,
calls.
Yeah,
Very
we had
positive.
some, as always, some excellent calls, make
Yeah.
some excellent points. So we're going to round matters up now. Before we close the show, I just wanted to get your thoughts on some of the upcoming games, our ops of the week. So we've got 2 games coming up this week.
Yeah.
The first game is on Thursday. It's the round of 16 in the Europa League. We're taking on Sporting, i.e. Sporting Lisbon of Portugal, away. They're currently 4th in their league.
Yeah.
They're on a decent run of form. I think they're unbeaten in their last 4 or 5 games. Listen, a lot of people have said we should make wholesale changes and play a weaker side. I'm not one of those.
Yeah.
I think we should go strong. Maybe not as strong as you'd say our first 11, but we should put out a decent side and really try to get a result out there and get through to the next round. What's your thoughts?
No, I agree. I think we should go strong. I can understand maybe if we make 1 or 2 changes, because I think like one of the earlier callers was saying, we're going to travel to Lisbon, come back probably on the Friday, then we got Fulham away on Sunday. So you do have to be able to rotate a little bit, but equally this is against a team that have just come out of a Champions League group. They beat Tottenham in the home game.
Did.
I know most people beat Tottenham, but yeah, they did beat Tottenham. And
Tottenham get battered
everywhere they go. Even Sheffield United. But anyway, let's not talk about them. But yeah, because what I don't want us to do is go there, make loads of changes, have a bad result, and then have to try and rescue it in the home leg. I think if we can go there and get it wrapped up, or at least win the game, it takes some pressure off the home game the week after. So listen, to me, I think this competition is very important. We haven't won a European trophy for 30 years. So we're in no position to just throw this away. I know the Premier League is the number 1 priority, but listen, you're looking at it, Arsenal, Man United, Juventus, probably the 3 favourites to win it. Juventus have been in disarray this season, probably Roma as well because of Mourinho, and Man United just lost 7, so we have a very good opportunity of winning this competition. So yeah, I'm with you. I'd be going strong. I can understand a couple of players probably getting a game. You could argue maybe Matt Turner, maybe Kivior, you know, could you Tierney definitely needs a
Fabio
game.
Vieira, even though he played at the weekend.
I mean, he will have played against Lisbon a number of times as well. So I think you rotate, you bring everyone over there just in case. But probably
I'm wondering
80%.
if Eddie will be fit for that game.
Yeah, I haven't heard much about his injury. I heard that Trossard, they said it was only a minor problem, but they didn't expect him to go to this game.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought
they're not going to risk it. So hopefully, I mean, we could do with Eddie back as well, just for the numbers in attack. But yeah, I'd go
Plus
strong.
he needs a goal, doesn't he? So
yeah, and you would hope this would spur him on to get a goal. So
listen, man, Sporting are a decent side, as you alluded to earlier. They beat Tottenham in the Champions League earlier in the season. I think we played them in the Europa League back in 2018, and it was quite a closely contested game. I think there was 1 draw, and I think we beat them 1-0 at their place. So if that's anything to go by, that tells you it's not going to be a walk in the park.
Easy,
and I'm with you, Curtis. We've got to approach this game with the right mindset, try to win it. It's a major competition, one we've never won. We got to the final years ago, and it ended rather acrimoniously for us. And I remember at the time, there was a lot of upset over the way that went. So this would be an opportunity to put that right.
We spoke about it before. We went to the FA Cup, Man City. We made wholesale changes, lost the game, and then it led to a little blip. And we were talking about, listen, confidence, you know, winning. Yeah. It's something that, you know, it becomes a habit. But also, if you lose, you know, I don't think you want to put that out there for us to get knocked out of a major competition. So I would say go there, go strong, try and get the game won. If you're winning, maybe you can take people off. But I think it's an important game. I would love to see Arsenal win this competition.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. Let's just do our best to win it. Like you said, Curtis, we're not going to probably play our strongest side. However, I'd like to see us go at least 80% strong.
Definitely, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, right, okay, so that's that. Any predictions on that game?
I'm just gonna go 2-1. Because I think we will. Yes, that's my safety score. It's the Hector Bellerin derby, people. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 because I think we will make changes, and Sporting will be up for it at home. I don't think it's going to be an easy game by any means. So I'll go for a 2-1, which I'd probably take that getting back to them.
I think most people would take 2-1. Yeah, I think they're going to be they're going to be a decent side, and it's not going to be an easy proposition, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, then. So that's that on the Thursday, and then moving on to the Sunday.
Yeah.
It's the Willian derby.
Did he even play for Arsenal? I thought that was just a nightmare that I had.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Willian that I'm seeing.
No,
for Fulham,
man. Jeez, you'd pay big money for him, wouldn't
completely
you?
different to the one that we were seeing.
He must have a twin brother in Brazil that we got, man, called Dave or something. I don't know who that guy.
Interestingly, though, about that Willian, I remember when we signed him, wasn't it against Fulham that he had a really good game?
On his debut.
Yeah, and I think he fell off a cliff a little bit after that.
More than did, didn't he?
But yeah, you know what, Fulham
though.
Hey, man.
Listen, this game is a difficult game. Mitrovic is back. He's been out for a while.
Yeah.
He's, in fact, in the home game, they caused us real problems that game. Mitrovic scored, actually. Leno's in goal, obviously. He's going to be motivated.
The Willian-Leno
derby. This is a tough game.
It is a tough game.
And a lot of it you almost think depends on what happens on Thursday. Because I think if we go to Lisbon, win, confidence is high, no injuries, you look at that Fulham game and think, go on, we can get them. If you've lost to Lisbon and you're away from home, you're thinking, boy, we're under pressure here. City play on Saturday night, so we'll already know whether they've dropped points or whether they've won against Palace. It's a tough game, but I am still confident that we can beat them. Watch Fulham a few times. I do think they can be got at defensively. And I think with our pace up front,
we are away from home as well.
We're away from. I saw that Paulinho's suspended, and he's been their best midfielder. I think they actually. I'm not sure if they signed him from Portugal. It might have been Sporting Lisbon, but he's got 10 yellow cards, so he's suspended for this game.
Likes a tackle, clearly.
Yeah. So he's out for this game. But listen, it'll be a tough game. I think we only beat them 2-1 at home, and like I said, Mitrovic scored. They'll be up for it. Willian's gonna think, listen, this fan base didn't really respect him. He didn't play well for us. We were quite happy to get rid of him.
Listen, man, you said it. All the elements are there for it to be a very difficult game. It's a London derby. There's a couple of ex-Arsenal players in the team who are playing well for Fulham now, and they're going to be up for it.
Yeah,
they got a point to prove. And Fulham are playing well right now with a good young manager.
Yeah,
he's quite progressive. He knows the Premier League. He's been at a few clubs in the Premier League and always done fairly well. And he's in a rich vein of form at the moment with them. They're currently 7th.
Yeah.
Is that number 7 again?
That's 7, man. That 7 keeps popping up, man.
Unbeaten in their last 7 games.
7 games,
Yeah, so I think it's fair to say this won't be a 7-0 either way.
No, it shouldn't be.
But yeah, on a serious note, I'm looking forward to the game.
Yeah.
100%, but it's not going to be an easy one. But then, as we saw on Saturday, Curtis, that old adage, there's no easy games in the Premier League unless you're playing Tottenham. It's written in stone. But okay, my man, I'm going to press you for a prediction of the Fulham game and why.
Do you know what? I know it's really boring. I'm going to say 2-1 again. Do you know what? I do think it'll be a tough game.
Would you take a point?
No, okay. I wouldn't, honestly. I just think when you're trying to avoid Manchester City, you've got to beat these teams. Yeah. If you're trying to win the title, if Man City were playing Fulham this week, I'd be predicting a Man City win. So equally, if we're top and we're trying to finish above them, I'm going to be because listen, Partey's back. Where Smith Rowe got game time. Trossard could be back for that second game. He'll miss the Lisbon game. I just think we'll have too much for them. I do. I think it's going to be interesting how the Europa League game affects us because we haven't played in Europe for a few months. So a lot of the time teams are playing midweek. We've been resting and having 7 days off. Where now we'll be playing and travelling. So that tiredness, how that affects us. But I just think we're going to have a little bit too much for them. I think Paulinho is a big loss for them in midfield.
Yeah, good point. I mean, listen. Yes, Fulham are playing well. They're 7th in the table, but come on, let's be honest.
Where are they in the table?
7th. But we're top, so there's 6 places between us, and there's 6 places between us for a reason. But we so far are the better side. We've been the best side in the league. The league don't lie, is what people always say, isn't it? On that basis, I think we're a marginal favourites. I'm not going to go out there and say we're going to go there beaten by 2 clear goals, but I would say we're marginal favourites. I am expecting a tough game, but also expecting us to come out on top.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel. My confidence at the moment, man, is sky high at the moment.
Yeah, no, and you got every right to be. So yeah, I think we'll win.
And I do
I
too.
think we'll win.
On that note, bro, it's
Yes.
got to conclude matters. Thank you very much for coming up and sharing your opinion and giving us the benefit of your forthright and deep knowledge of the game. Thank you very much for all the people who called in today from all corners of the world. We appreciate that too.
Yeah, man.
For the people who submitted super chats, for the people who submitted comments. Obviously, I can't read out all the comments, but we are noting them. We do thank you very much for the interactive nature of the show. Keep on watching, keep supporting, like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Take care.
Oh, God, McLaren.
He's gone.
He's been in the pit 40 seconds.
Whoa. Front wing. Careful with the front wing.
God. Matisse, it's happening, mate. I'm putting on my lucky new Ferrari hat. Oh, no.
Oh, Sainz. Leclerc. It's Leclerc. Drama.
Take that out.
Don't forget to check out the Bias Premier League show with Yardi, Ty and myself, where we're going to be discussing the unbelievable comeback by Arsenal with Reiss Nelson. And we're going to talk a little bit about Manchester United.